Bywater with the goal kick downfield, looking for Akins, headed away by Davis, one in midfield, ball runs loose, across comes Turner, who punts it into the stand just below us. Throwing to Derby in the left back position, Cameron Jerome is warming up, as is Casey Palmer in front of us. Nigel Clough and Andy Garner deep in conversation in the technical area. Throw in taken, Akins wins it over the top of Lawrence, and Zach Penny runs it all the way back to Bywater, and he turns it away downfield to nobody really.
There's certain players as well that just aren't getting into the game at the moment. The likes of Tom Lawrence has got to show more, he's got to get on that ball. We've got to find a way of getting Nugent on it.
And he's coming it to the left hand side. There's the ball to Vidra. Corner of the box against Brayford. On his right peg, still going, needs support. Has to go square, back to Huddleston, 30 yards from goal. Flicks it back out to the left of Baird. He helps it on to Lawrence. Lawrence level with the penalty spot, kills it in right footed, climbing. It's Nugent!
Yes!
And scores his first goal since the 23rd of December. It's his 7th of the season, and Burton switching off at the back, and the Rams are back in this. It's Burton 1, Derby 1.
Yeah, you don't have to be clever, do you? Good response from Derby as well. Got it out left to Tom Lawrence, and what an exquisite ball it was as well. A lot of pace, a lot of swaz on it, and he just had to connect with it, didn't he, Nugent? At the far post, rising on his own, bottom corner for 1-1. Derby a lifeline back in this game. Good response.
Poor defending from Burton, though. It wasn't an easy cross, and an even easier header. Put it into that 6-yard box somewhere between the keeper and the centre halves, and neither of them wanted it.
For a Burton point of view, Tony Bentley, their form, the way they were playing the game since taking the lead, it really took a lift, didn't it? But conceding so quickly after taking the lead, it's a bit of a...
conceding from nothing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we said about Tom Lawrence as well there, didn't we? That we need a bit more from him. We need him in this game. And what a cross that was as well to pick out Nugent for that equalising goal. So we want more of that from Tom in them areas.
Derby playing one-touch football on the edge of their own penalty area. Nugent lunges into the back of McFadden. Nigel Clough wants a free kick. It's gone all the way back to Bywater in the Rams' goal.
And we haven't talked about Nugent. Not scored in what? 16, 17 games, 18, something like that. So that would do wonders for his confidence. Really pleased for Nugent. 7th goal of the season.
Clough is quite right having to go at the referee there, because there was a free kick for Burton. They'd have had it just by the halfway line. He plays, but they have to go back to the goalkeeper. It comes up, and now Derby get the free kick.
Free kick for Akins, climbing. Derby knocking it around defence, going back to safety, and Carson. It's the first goal Derby have scored in the Pirelli Stadium.
It's also the highest scoring game between the two teams.
There's going to be a few more yet as well, Tony.
Rock and roll, headed on by Huddleston. Turner loops it over the back of his own head. Up goes Huddleston in midfield again. Wisdom comes across, takes possession of it. Finds Pearce, out on the right-hand side. 30 minutes on the watch. Ball over the top looking for Andreas Weimann. A long leg of Ben Turner clears it away. One on that left side by Sabara. Neat and tidy. Runs it all the way back to Stephen Bywater, the artist, who clears it up to the halfway line. Baird pushes Akins, 2 hands in the back.
I've been called the artist before.
Different kind of artist, mate.
Oh, is it?
Free kick to Burton on halfway. Nigel Clough having a conversation with James Linnington, the referee, is in his 38th.
Chelsea in the semi-finals.
He's got to get away by 6 o'clock to catch his ferry back to the Isle of Wight. He was saying if he misses that one, he's got to wait till 3 in the morning for the next one.
You've said that before.
I know.
Absolutely.
Who's that?
The referee on the Isle of Wight.
Ben Turner knocks it forward. It's effective but untidy as Burton come forward with Jacob Davenport, the impressive youngster on loan from Manchester City. Here's another one. Sabara gives it back to Davenport, left side of the penalty area, attacking the away end. So we sit in the main stand here. Davenport slips and is brought down by Huddleston as he tries to regain his feet. It's a free kick. It's too far out for Davenport to shoot. It's 1-1. 2 goals in 4 minutes. Liam Boyce giving Burton the lead on 24 before David Nugent heading in at the back stick for the equaliser for Derby. Atmosphere just fades a little bit as Burton supporters bite their nails and see what Jacob Davenport can do. Derby defending on the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger, or away swinger, shall we say. It's going in the box, whatever happens. Here he comes, blue boots, curls it into the box, flat and hard to the back post. Oh, and there's a header from McFadzean that he didn't get enough on, and it's gone wide of the post, and he puts his head in his hands, and that was close, Tony Bennett.
I think he got nothing on it. That was the problem. It was a brilliant delivery.
Okay,
She takes
now
pace
let's
there
do
on
that.
the 6-yard line. McFadzean's got in between his markers, and he knows that that was a gilt-edged chance to get the lead back.
Let's be honest, Tony, that should have been in the back of the net. It was great delivery as well.
Just needed a touch, didn't
Was
he?
it Davenport putting that ball in?
Yeah.
Great delivery, plenty of width, plenty of pace. He's just got to get any kind of connection from 6 yards. That's Nestle and Derby's goal. So concentration levels, once again, poor defending from Derby has to be better.
He's not a key man anymore, though. We'll be all right.
Defending on the edge of his own penalty area, headed away, and Brayford hits it into the roof of the stand on this near side and drops into the Burton supporters. Throwing to Derby, level with the 6-yard box on this near side left. Betty Brewer making herself a nuisance behind the goal. Thrown by Baird, finds Curtis Davis, chest it and lays it off to Ledley, whose beard is getting pointier by the week, and he's just lifted it out of play. It's a throw-in to Burton. Brayford will take it.
Just quieting down after that 5 minutes of madness.
Certainly has.
And the results?
It's 1-1 here, Craig, and we're still playing. Here's Vidra in the middle as Craig tries to produce this programme. Vidra lays it off, looking for Nugent, challenged by Akins, does well, skips away from 2 challengers, gets crunched by Huddleston, and then the ball is given away. I thought Huddleston may have been a bit late to the challenge there. Referee was right on top of it, said no. Vyman turns Davenport in midfield and then hammers the ball across. Luckily, it's found Lawrence off a deflection. Lawrence into the box, challenged. Murphy's gone down in a heap. Lawrence still got it by the byline and wins a corner. Derby's first.
Yeah, good play from Derby, switching the play with a bit more pace. Like you said, Aikens just running into traffic, really. It's definitely not a free kick. It's Tom Huddleston who picked his pocket, and then all of a sudden that big spread, and there he was. Tom Lawrence just causing Murphy a few problems there. Corner ball to Derby now, with Baird taking a great opportunity now for Derby to get on top.
2 arms in the air from Baird. We'll hear the latest scores in a moment from Chris, who sat 6 miles away on this really long press bench. Swung to the back post. Up goes Huddleston. Oh, he should have scored. He had nobody marking him. Bywater was in no man's land, and his header just went over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, free as well, wasn't he? Fell asleep, didn't they? I think it was Turner at the back post. Just fell asleep, and it was great delivery from Baird. Plenty of width, plenty of pace, and they're struggling to deal with that ball. So every opportunity, whether it's Baird putting his corner in or whether it's Tom Lawrence, spin them in, because they do ball watch a little bit better. But Tom Huddleston kicking himself there, should have been nested in the back of the net.
Long goal kick downfield. Boyce heads on. Here is Akins back to goal. To Boyce again. Man to his left in Sabara. Boyce feels like he's got the hunger for this one. On his left peg, does a step over, gets an unfortunate ricochet that gives it straight to Wisdom, and it's cleared upfield. Here is Buxton on halfway, the legend in black and white for Derby. That's a good header by Murphy, nearly, but Ekpan ran the other way. On halfway is McFadzean. He runs it all the way back to Bywater in his goal.
When Burton do get good ball though in and around Derby's 18-yard box, it causes us a few problems.
Here they come again, Ekpan in midfield, battling with Ledley. Ball is challenged by Huddleston, now to this near side. Huddleston's ball, or Burton's ball into Derby's penalty area is cleared away by Alex Pearce. Headed up in the air by Turner. Opportunity for Chris to run us up to date with some goals.
And in the Championship, Barnsley 1, Bolton 0, Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Middlesbrough 1, Bristol City 1, QPR 1, Preston 0, Reading 1, Sunderland 0, goalless everywhere else, including the games between Norwich and Cardiff and Nottingham Forest and Ipswich. In the Premier League, Burnley 2, Leicester 0, 5 goals already at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 3, Brighton 2, goalless between Huddersfield and Watford, and Swansea and Everton.
Free kick on the far left-hand side in front of the North Terrace is taken. The Davenport slipped when he hit that, and it didn't go where it was supposed to, and Derby cleared it at the first man. Now Sabara, tackled by Nugent. Nugent looks up, looks for Lawrence down the right, but the ball isn't good enough. Buxton steps across him and wins possession. Now Davenport, 10 yards inside his own half on the left-hand side. 36 gone, 1-1 at the Pirelli Stadium. Liam Boyce on the score sheet before David Nugent equalised for Derby. Sabara takes the ball off Vyman, and Burton keep possession with Davenport.
I was just about to say, Zabara looks a little bit lightweight, and he goes and makes a tackle like that.
He's looking after himself there after that last challenge with Wisdom. Brilliant tackle on, I think it was Vyman.
Building himself into the game somewhat. Here is Akins, right side of midfield, skips away from Lawrence, puts his arms on him. Lawrence gets a foot in, but the referee spotted that he had his arms on his shoulders, and it's a free kick to Burton.
Derby not working hard enough out of possession once again, but Burton now being especially Aikens, finding them little pockets and turning them. And the two midfield players are treading ground to try and get and retrieve that football. Derby have to do it earlier. They have to stifle that before it gets there. And it's too easy to the transition for Burton to put that ball into Aikens.
Well, this is a free kick. It's midway through the Rams' half. Davenport's over it left-footed to the right of the D. He scored in a similar position at Barnsley. It's a bit too far out. He's launched it to the back post and it's gone straight out of play. That's not great, Tony Bentley, from a man who we know has the technical ability to do much, much better.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Was it a little bit too hard? Same position as he scored from Barnsley, but about 20 yards further out, so it wasn't worth the shot that time. But you can see the difference in Lucas Aikens in an attacking position. He's been wasted at right back so often this season through needs of not having enough fit players.
Goal kick downfield from Carson, headed by Turner, straight back to the goalkeeper, Stephen Bywater.
Quite a positive Clough, though, in his selection, like I said, going to a 4-3-3, trying to control the midfield, the 3v2. But you've just seen there, Davenport, it was too straight for him to put that cross in.
Here is Aikens, near side right. Murphy plays it down the right wing, intercepted by Baird, helped on by Ledley. Derby want handball. Murphy's managed to keep possession and find Aikens. He's got two yellow shirts in front, goes out to the right, but Brayford hasn't gone.
Sorry, the other thing is Murphy hasn't been playing recently. You know, he's come in there and him and Akpan are actually doing a lot of work in midfield. They're breaking Derby up and actually pushing forward to get as close to Boyce as they can.
Yeah, definitely. They're causing us a few problems, aren't they, in around Derby's 18-yard box with Zabara as well coming in off the line. But Brayford there, 10 years ago, would have caught that ball. Time's catching up with him.
It's the hair that's weighing him down. Headed back by Vidra all the way through to Scott Carson, who's in a lovely shade of blue this afternoon. He rolls it out to Pearce, who gives it him back, who takes a touch. Carson. His Boyce comes to meet him and he drills it downfield. 6.5 minutes to half time. Headed away there by Turner. Out of play for a Derby thrown on the right. 1-1. Liam Boyce's second goal for the Brewers on 24 minutes. 4 minutes later, Burton switching off at the back and Tom Lawrence picking out David Nugent's header at the back post. It was a comfortable goal for Nugent as Derby looked to break again. And Byman's brought down pretty poorly there by Jake Buxton, who's going to be booked for it. Byman had played the ball away, and Buxton, who wanted to put his marker on Byman, did so. And he gets his 5th yellow card of the season.
Just too quick for him, wasn't he, Byman? Looked like his touch had let him down. That just took Jake Buxton to make that challenge. But he was half an hour late and took Byman out. Definitely a booking. Burton have got it all to do now. Hopefully, good delivery now. It looks like Tom Huddles is going to square up for this ball. And we've got the likes of Pearson, Curtis Davis, Vidra and Nugent now. And Ledley just on the periphery of it as well.
Periphery? What's that?
Right.
How did I leave David Nugent in?
The Craig Ravage Dictionary of Words, of course, in all good bookshops. Forward by Tony Bentley. Swung in right-footed to the edge of the box. Up goes the offside flag. Pearce was battling with it. And it's a free kick to Burton. Disappointing there, Craig, to be offside from a set piece.
Yeah, when you're looking at both sides at the moment and what this first half is shaping up, you can't see that Burton are bottom of the league and Derby are 5th in the Championship. It's quite even at the moment, both games.
Oh, come on, that was shocking, mate.
Look like they've got that bit of pace going forward and could score at any minute. But also Burton just, obviously the winning run is causing us a few problems.
Boyce chests it down. Pearce gets the foot in to clear away. Vidra runs the opposite way of the ball. Buxton has possession. Captain of the Brewers this afternoon. Out to the left it goes to Turner. 10 yards inside his own half. Just one forward looking for Boyce. Over the top it goes. Pearce heads away. Straight into the path of Akpan. Challenge comes in there from Ledley and it's hacked away by Pearce. Here is Brayford heading forward. Headed away by Baird. Brayford will get it again. He puts it into midfield. Here's Jacob Davenport. Davenport's space to run into up against Huddleston. Plays it out to the left to Sabara. Sabara takes a touch and runs it back to Turner, who heaves it into Derby's penalty area. High one for Curtis Davis to head away, only as far as Aikens. Turn to the right to Murphy, level the right side of the box. Murphy runs it down the channel. Here's Brayford, pulls the ball to the back post. He's overhit it. It's out of play for a goal kick. Just over 4 minutes to half time. It's Burton 1, Derby 1. Burton have only led in 2 home games at half time this season, and they've failed to score in 10 of them, but they scored today.
That was better. Putting the ball fell to Akpan, who seems to have a lack of confidence in the final third when he gets into a decent position there. Anybody else, I think, they'd have got shot away.
Pearce got out of jail though. Poor header from Pearce, straight back into the danger area. They allowed Burton to come on to us again. And they moved the ball really well, didn't they, down that right hand? But deeper out midfield on that passage of play. You know, they just stood off the midfield. It's too easy. For me, we've got to go and compete. I talk about it all the time. We're standing off Burton's midfield when they get good ball. we've got to go and sort of go into the tackles and stop them playing.
Well defended by Jake Buxton, a ball forward that he headed all the way back to Bywater. Here's McFadzean from the rollout. Davenport, Huddleston comes to meet him, but Davenport gets rid quickly. Uses McFadzean, who hits it right-footed downfield. It just bobbled before he played that ball. I wonder. There's a back pass by Baird. In goes Boyce. Good challenge from Davis. That'll be just a little bit too edgy at the back at times. Ball is cleared again. Boyce was on it like a shot. Here's McFadzean. And now Davenport into Derby's half. Sabara skips away from Wisdom, plays it into Akpan. Sabara with a shot from the inside from Carson. Joe Sabara not scored for Burton this season, but Carson was level to it.
Absolutely brilliant by the youngster there, wasn't it? Beat his man, played a nice little 1-2, got it back and going for the top right-hand corner, just at a nice height for Carson, who's at full stretch, put it around for the Brewers' first corner.
Burton's midfield are dominating ours, aren't they? Especially in forward areas. Derby just can't react to it. Too slow to turn, Alderson and Ledley and their midfield getting the shots.
Come on.
Corner to Burton from the left, then swinger from Sabara for the back post, and Carson rises really high in the air to claim that one. And then he bowls it overarm straight to Jacob Davenport. He was looking for Vidra, but he'd gone. Here's Davenport, brilliant skill, beats two Derby players. Goes square, nice ball out to the left, would have been if you'd have found Sabara. Wisdom manages to clear it. Murphy comes, pushes a header forward again, up goes Akpan, it's going to drop. Huddleston will clear it, it's untidy from Derby. Burton just starting to grow more into this game once more as Vidra in the centre circle, needs an outlet, uses Huddleston, and out to the left it goes to Tom Lawrence. Lawrence is challenged by Akins, he keeps possession, there's a step over and runs the ball back to Chris Baird. Just under 2 minutes to half time, it's 1-1. Terrible ball by Ledley, and then Baird is caught in possession. Here goes Murphy down the right, to Boyce it goes, back to goal, Akins with him, loads of space and time to turn, overlap with Sabara. Sabara on his right foot. Square
Yes.
Here is Murphy, right side of the box, overlap coming. Murphy's all the way into Derby's box.
Fuck off. So, winning on this, but in real life, Derby are a bag of shit.
It's atrocious. They are gifting goals here, and Burton, who are bottom of the league, are taking advantage just before half time. It's Burton 2, Derby 1.
Absolutely fantastic play from Burton there. They worked the ball out to the left-hand side. Zabara looked for the shot, he didn't. He played it along the box, came out back into Murphy. Nobody came to challenge Murphy, so he ran along the 18-yard box just inside, looked up, and we were right behind that. Killed a fantastic left-foot shot to the top corner for only his second goal for Burton.
Yeah, we're still at Molyneux, aren't we? Hey? Not even putting a tackle in. And they were moving that ball. It's not just one pass what's put Murphy in. It's the way they shifted it. And no one likes the ball. No one wants to go and put a tackle in. Everybody's just stepping away.
Everyone's playing fucking shit.
If you play Burton Albion, bottom of the league, virtually relegated, will score if you don't go and close the ball down. Murphy just goes into the box. No one on him. Left foot. Picked his spot for 2-1. And he was coming because we all were lethargic. No one's putting tackles in.
Well, we've seen this all before, haven't we? The Derby and bottom place sides. They lost to Sunderland on Good Friday. Same referee as well, which is a coincidence.
It started with Ledley.
The Derby supporters have turned. They are booing and jeering any negative football away to our
Murphy actually started that goal because he won the ball. He robbed, didn't he? Robbed.
I'm enjoying Davenport, watching Davenport, his coolness on the ball and the way he's ghosted past a couple of our midfield players. Now we're going to see some characters now. We need characters in this Derby side. They responded in the first, conceding the first goal. Can they do it again before half time? If not, Gary's going to have some big words to say at half time.
Like anti-disestablishmentarianism. Derby have possession.
What?
Wisdom inside the Burton half. Goes short to Vidra. Helps it on, but it was hopeful and not effective. And it's run back to Stephen Bywater and cleared away downfield. Boyce wins the header with Pearce. Boyce will win it again. Pearce nowhere near him. There's a ball to Akpan. Akpan into the penalty area. Boyce in support. Pearce back healing, luckily, and finding a Derby player. Derby are absolutely ragged at the back, Craig. Here comes Nugent on the right-hand side. He's got the run of Vidra. Nugent to the edge of the penalty area. Huddleston's made a run. Nugent still going, tries a shot, stretches, gets up, cleared away by Turner.
So it's always showing a bit of life though. Like you said, it takes to go behind. and he's starting to do a little bit faster through the lines there. On that occasion, Nugent just couldn't get his shot away. But Derby have to do better. Akpan, once again, little 1-2s in and around our midfield, can't cope with it. Has to do better. Is Akpan trying to get that shot in on the edge of the box once again. Derby've got to find a way back into this game.
Ball out to the left for Derby, headed away by Brayford for Burton, helped on by Murphy, going to drop out of play for another throw-in. We've got 10 seconds of added time to play. As I mentioned, Burton have only led twice at home at half-time all season.
Make that 3 times, because it's Burton 2, Derby 1 at half-time, and it is a performance that is growing in character from the Brewers. Derby once more caught short with apathy. Clinical finish from Nugent, just looking at the Rams players who are shaking their heads as they come off the field. Tony Bentley, Brewers on top.
Yeah, Burton, what Burton are doing when they get the ball, both Murphy and Akpan go in and stop the 2 Derby City midfielders actually getting the ball, and that's what they've done. They robbed Leslie for that second goal there. It's the first time Burton have actually scored 2 goals at home in the first half all season, and they thoroughly deserve it.
He's got it all to do in that dressing room, Gary Rowett, because that's not acceptable, to be honest. You know, we're second best, we're not winning. The pattern of play is not great, we're not really moving the ball quick enough in forward areas. And I'm not being funny, you're looking at Burton Albion and the way they're going through the lines. They look like the fifth, not bottom of the league. You know, they're showing ideas, they're showing movement, they're moving the ball quickly. Like Tony just said, they're switching the ball, Savara, Aikins on the right-hand side. They've always got options, whether it's somebody's running off the ball. We don't get that. You know, our chances are, it's a little bit schoolboyish where we pick the ball up, we're trying to just shift it down the channels. But when Burton Albion get it, you see it. They've got ideas, they've got runners in and around, and they move the ball 1 and 2 touch. And the carving open Derby at the minute Derby defensively are ragged. And Burton are just running at us and causing us problems. Derby have got to get a foothold in this game and a little bit more energy and go and compete and win set balls and kick somebody, please. We need to stop kicking players. We're not kicking anybody. It's far too easy for Derby to be sitting in like that and not competing enough.
Well then, that's Craig Ramage's thoughts and Tony Bentley as well. More to come from the men at half-time as well, but for the Brewers, it's all very positive. For the Rams, it's so far so bad.
It's so far so shit.
2, Derby County 1.
BBC Radio Derby Travel.
Traffic around Derby, Ashbourne and Burton looks to be moving well this afternoon. No word from the police of any incidents affecting any of our key routes. Busiest spots, as you might expect, given the good weather today, are on the A6 through the Cromford and Matlock area. Also looking quite slow for traffic travelling through Bakewell, and a little bit closer to the Derby area. The stretch through Belper is also a little slow on the traffic sensors. Go on motorway driving though, no problems on the M1. That moves well through the roadworks that continue between junction 23A and 25. If you can update our information, you can call 0800 145 6161. David Moore, BBC Radio Derby Travel.
Sally Pepper on BBC Radio Derby.
The first Friday the 13th of the year is also Blame It on Someone Else Day. So I asked the human lie detector Darren Stanton, how do you tell if someone's not admitting to something?
There's a thing in psychology called duping delight. It's almost like an uncontrollable smile that comes over people's faces. I put £10 in a self-serve machine, gave me change for 20. I felt this big beam come over me as I walked towards the exit, and I thought, no, I just can't do it. So be watching for people with a big smirk, because that's the giveaway.
Sally Pepper, weekday mornings from 10 on BBC Radio Derby. Every kick, every goal, every game. BBC Radio Derby.
And welcome back to the Pirelli Stadium, where it is Burton Albion 2, Derby County 1. A really good first half performance from the Brewers, but not so from the Rams. Ed Dawson Here we go again.
Absolutely, Chris. Yes, for Derby, from their point of view and from what we observe here, it's another one of those classic performances where you can come up against a team with no real stars in it, but they just work harder than them. And that is the performance that we're seeing at the moment. Burton on top at half-time, leading 2-1 because they are working harder and going through their lines and patterns of play and doing the instructions that Nigel Clough has told them to do to the best of their ability. They took the lead on 24 minutes. Liam Boyce, the back post. The ball was given away by Andre Wisdom. Joe Savara found Murphy, who's crossed from the right-hand side. They were queuing up. And Akins was there, but also Turner, also Murphy. And
she ever seen me like this, she be traumatized. No, this is not alright, but nothing is. I barely got to live, I'm just a kid. Look at me, look what you fucking did, I'm fucking dead. No, this wasn't even my fault. Now I'm speaking with the lights off, I don't think they hear me. It ain't no more TV, no more dancing. No more sleepovers or no candy, no more camping. No more kisses from my daddy, cause I left and died. All because of
the field. And Darby just backed off and backed off and backed off, and Murphy just picked his spot. Top left-hand corner of the goal with a left-footed curler.